weather.
Good morning and happy Friday. We'll see showers and storms this morning, giving way to mostly cloudy skies and a high of 77 this afternoon. A few evening storms, then numerous storms late tonight into Saturday morning. Overnight low 61. So a stormy Saturday morning, then mostly cloudy skies. Small chance of an afternoon storm. High on Saturday in the mid-70s. Dry and much warmer on Sunday and Memorial Day with highs in the 80s. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Wichita's most listened to sports radio.
I scream along at the top of my lungs. It's a way to release my rage.
Chill, dude. 97.5 and 1240 KFH. Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Albrock. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Yes, I did say after game one of the Spurs Thunder series that, while SGA is the MVP of the league, Wemby was the best player in the world. After game two, I want to reiterate, SGA is the MVP, and he played like it in a game they absolutely had to have. Lose both games at home, and the defending champs are not only on thin ice, they're dead on arrival because you're not beating Wemby 4 times in 5 games. But you can't beat him 3 out of 5, especially if the Spurs backcourt remains busted up. And if De'Aaron Fox and or Dylan Harper miss additional action, the Spurs are in trouble. And yes, I know OKC was sketchy as hell last night, flopping around, stepping on ankles, and dirtying up the game. But why does anybody do anything? Because they can. And the ref show did nothing to stop it. The Spurs did their job. They got their split. But even without the home court, the momentum has swung back to the champs, especially if the Spurs don't get healthy stat. I'm Jim Rome.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives. On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
All right, so you know the drill. We're going to turn on the hot dog cannon, and for every hot dog that you catch in your mouth, you get $100 toward a boob job that you desperately need.
I know.
Okay, here we go. Oh, a miss! Oh, you got her in the eye with that one. Whoa, that one was a teat-seeking missile.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
You're listening to the radio. Oh, my God.
Max feeling a little squirrely this morning, I see. Welcome into Sports Daily, everybody. Jacob Albrock, Brady Bowman in for TJ today. Glad to be with you on a Friday. TGIF. It is the end of the week, headed into a holiday weekend. We didn't know if we'd be here today, Brady. It was dependent on the Shockers baseball team, who didn't get it done in the 9th inning. We'll discuss that later. And that means we are here with you instead of they are here with you. So for many of you, sorry to disappoint, but you've got us this morning. We're glad to be here with you. Thanks for listening on KFH. Over the air, you can call us. 869-1240 is the number. If you're listening to us on the Odyssey app, you can leave us voice messages. If you're watching us, thanks for doing that on 12 News Connected, on Facebook, on YouTube, on X. You can leave your video comments there, and we are happy to take those out over the air as well. Glad to be here with you. Everything we're going to talk about today, we've got Jaylon Thompson in to talk Royals later in the show. We'll talk a little of that Shocker baseball, KU baseball, K-State baseball. It is baseball postseason in the college ranks. We've got the NBA playoffs continuing, a game 2 in the Eastern Conference Finals. We have a couple of football stories to get to. We're jam-packed, and it's all What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring Chico Beerha, Wichita's soccer lager. With a lean and refreshing body, Chico Beerha, lager tailored for a soccer summer. Kick it with Chico Beerha this cup season at Wichita Brewing Company. Brady, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Jacob. Happy Friday to you. We've made it. We made it to the end of the work week.
We're here. It took a minute. And we got here, though. How you feeling on this Friday?
I'm ready to take on the world, Jacob. Just like any morning, especially when you get the chance to get up to do Sports Daily.
That's right. That's right. What was your? So you're sitting there on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Royals are off. Didn't sit through that punishment. You locked in on the Eastern Conference Finals.
I did. I caught some of that. Although, it looks like on the Eastern side, that's going to be a quick series.
Yeah, it's too bad Cleveland blew that first game. I've been dialed in now. I just got dialed into the NBA season with the conference finals, which is about what I thought I would do this year. This series is the most interesting, I think, because we have so much local flavor in it. Craig Porter Jr., right. Dean Wade both playing for the Cavs. Landry Shamet playing for the Knicks. None of them were big factors last night. They were big factors in game one. But the Knicks go up 2-0, and the Knicks have just been housing people. So, what can the Cavs do here? I don't know. Like, I'm with you. It feels like that. Like the second they blew that lead, you're like, all right, there they go. Like, there go their chances.
And I feel like it kind of showed last night.
Yeah, I'm more interested, I think, in can the Knicks beat the Thunder or the Spurs? I think that's what I'm the most interested in out of the East.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the question a lot of people have been considering on the West side between the Spurs and the Thunder. Like, there's your actual finals right there. Whoever wins that's probably going to most likely win the whole thing. But, the Knicks, which is so crazy to me, and Jacob, I think you can agree with this as well. I consider you a fellow 90s kid, and growing up, the Knicks were always like a joke about almost anything. Because I know that before the 90s, when you had Patrick Ewing and that crew there with the Knicks, especially in the 80s or in kind of early Jordan era, the Knicks were always one of those premier teams. But growing up as a 90s kid and going in the early 2000s, the Knicks were always like, usually they existed to be a part of a movie. What was the name? I was thinking about this last night.
The Whoopi Goldberg movie?
Yes. Yes.
Eddie?
Like, Whoopi Goldberg. That sounds right. Where, like, the whole premise is that, like, basically, let's give Whoopi Goldberg owns the Knicks now. I think that's pretty much the premise of the movie.
Or she was the coach, maybe.
Right.
Look, I'll differ with you a little bit on the Knicks because I'm more of a child of the early 90s, perhaps. The early 90s Knicks were awesome. They that's the team that lost to the Rockets in the finals when Jordan stepped away.
Yeah.
But I don't. I don't dislike the Knicks. I'm not like I don't like the Knicks, but I don't dislike the Knicks. And they had some good teams. John Starks was a killer. Patrick Ewing was an enemy to me as a kid, but Charles Oakley was really good. And then they had some other teams that had a lot of relevance too. I'll tell you that for whatever reason, Larry Johnson is my favorite basketball player of all time. Now, he wasn't with that Knicks team. He was probably still with the Hornets at that point, but he eventually became a Knick, and they had some good teams with, Latrell Sprewell and a few others. So they've always just kind of been, around, but never good enough, right? Like, at least in our lifetimes, they've never been good enough. And I think that brings you back to that original point, right? Of all I really want to know is this another one of those teams? Like, is this another one of, they're good, but they're not going to be good enough? Or because of the way they've been playing in the postseason, When they certainly have a lot of talented players, are they good enough potentially? Cat, although can we call him Cat anymore? Didn't he drop part of that? But Josh Hart was really good last night. We know Brunson's a star. I mean, they're kind of deep, but I look at the roster for them, and I'm like, yeah, that ain't holding up against the Thunder. And it's probably not holding up against the Spurs. Maybe the Spurs, not the Thunder. That's kind of how I look at it. So I'll tell you this, though. If they do, then that's a great story. Like, if that team's able to hold up with those teams in the West in a series in the finals, we're assuming now that the Knicks are going to beat the Cavs. But if that team holds up, that's a great story. I don't know how much of an underdog they'd be. I don't think they're Pistons over Lakers type underdog, but they'd be an underdog. And so that kind of is now my appeal into this NBA rest of the season, because I would tell you that I'm a far bigger fan of the Spurs and certainly the Spurs, but even the Thunder, than I would be of the Knicks. But I'm kind of intrigued by that. Seeing all the old Knicks courtside, like all those guys of our childhood, it's like, this is kind of cool. Like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing too, is that it's Madison Square Garden. I mean, it's the Knicks, no matter when they've been struggling really bad, they're a marquee name. Everybody knows about the New York Knicks. I mean, even as a kid growing up, like going back to the Whoopi Goldberg movie or whatever, like I wasn't a big NBA guy, but you know about the Knicks. You knew who the Knicks were. And for them to reach this sort of level, and Blake Brunson's playing, he's extremely fun to watch. And have you ever been to Madison Square Garden, Jacob?
I have.
Yeah,
I saw
that's a place.
My claim to fame at the Garden is I saw Earl Boykin and what was the little point guard? Nate Johnson?
That's
not his name. The two little bitty short guys, I saw them square off at the Garden.
Was one in Space Jam?
No, that was Muggsy Bogues. No.
That's right.
Larry Johnson, though, was in Space Jam. Grandmama. Go win one for Grandmama, Knicks.
Let's
do it. My favorite player ever. I have no idea why, but he is. All right, we'll come back. We got more Sports Daily for you on the other side.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83-1001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
Long Offer Lawn and Tree Care celebrating 60 years in Wichita, providing expert lawn care for a healthy lawn, tree and shrub care, and bedweed control since 1966. Long Offer Lawn and Tree Care. Welcome back in here, everybody. Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, Brady Bowman. We will have Jaylon Thompson in next hour to talk a little Royals as they get the day off, are swept by the Red Sox, and quite literally have their backs against the wall here in, I guess we can call it late May now, to be a part of this. Brady, the big story yesterday around the state of Kansas involves state basketball tournaments.
Yeah.
And an announcement from Keisha that they are doing something a lot of people, myself included, have been begging for a long time since I've moved to Kansas. It blows my mind how separated out state tournaments are. And the reason for that is simple. The reason people don't like it is you can only watch one, right? You go to some big states. You go to the state of Texas. The state championships are this massive extravaganza. And if you wanted to, most of the time, you could watch them all because they're all in the same place. Now, we're not doing that. We're not, for instance, having everything at Intrust Bank Arena or something like that, but we're having them all in what is being branded as the Wichita area. And I'll allow an inclusion of Hutch in that because they're going to have one of these titles, 40 minutes up the road. But the rest of the other 6, boys and girls, are going to be played in the city of Wichita or the Wichita Metro. And depending on how they time out, at least, you'll have a better chance to go see them all. So you'd have the state semifinal, and this is basketball that we're doing this with. State semifinal and state championships played at either Koch Arena, the old Hartman Arena, which is named after a bank now, and forget Heartland Credit or something like that. The arena up in Park City, and then the Garvey Center at Friends University. That's where the games will be played. And so this is what people have wanted. Now, there are communities and towns that maybe miss out on this. Maybe you rotate it, do whatever you need to do, but putting them all in the same area is at least a start. I would contend they need to be at the same arena, but that's okay. Like, we're getting there. We're making progress. And I think very quickly we'll see that this was a great decision by the state.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is something that's been coming for a while now. And I used to cover a lot of state high school basketball back in my newspaper days, especially at the Mercury, because Manhattan and Bramlage Coliseum hosted the 2A tournament all the time, or until now, I guess you can say. And saw a lot of Dean Wade win some state championships for St. John's and St. John in Manhattan and Bramlage Coliseum. That was always a huge, huge deal. I look forward to that week almost every year, because they're usually like one of the Kansas City papers. There's always some freelance opportunities as well for all those other schools that, nobody wanted to drive out. There's a newspaper there. See if you guys can do it. So that was always great. And the hospitality room at Bramlage Coliseum, Jacob, was decked out. They had everything there. I mean, just name off all the sorts of restaurants. It was fantastic. It was a great week. And basically, I just had to come up with box scores and capsules. And because of the state tournament, they had people printing off stats all the time, which is always great when you're covering high school basketball, especially 2A. Normally during regular season, you're doing it
handy.
yourself. So, yeah, there's some towns and areas that are going to miss out on that tourism, because that brought a lot of people into town, of course, and hotels. Some of those towns are going to miss out, and I do feel for those towns. And again, tournament, but yeah, central lights that are capable of hosting in, like you said, the Wichita area, which Hutch does make sense. So
you got to have the hotels.
Long time coming, and I agree with you talking about just interest. Yeah, you got to have the amenities, the infrastructure, etc.
Got to have the hotels, which is why Wichita makes sense. You couldn't do them all in, Emporia probably, because you don't have it. You could maybe do, Topeka one year. You could maybe do Manhattan or Lawrence. You probably could, because they're so equipped for it for the colleges there. You could maybe do KCK, although I don't know the venue they would play at the moment. But football certainly becomes an opportunity up there. But that's the whole key is you basically take the state track model and you just use that for everything. And most states do this, right? At least the ones I'm aware of. They do it all centralized, because you want it, like, if you're driving and spending the money and doing all these things, and you're coming down and you're going to watch your team play, it would be nice if you could watch 7 or 8 other games, really celebrate the accomplishment, the feat. Now, we don't know, at least that I'm aware of, the formats on all this and how it will time out, how they will stagger it. But I can tell you in other states, when I was covering high school sports in Texas, they would just have it be all day at, for basketball. I'm pretty sure basketball was in Austin. I should remember this. I've covered these. I think it was in Austin. And you'd go down and games would start early in the morning with the tiny little schools, and they would progress throughout the day of that round. Boys would play one day, girls would play the other day, and you'd just progress through. You'd have, in Texas, I think when I was there were probably 6 classifications. And so you'd have 6 games. Same arena, back to back to back to back to back. And then you do it the next day with the girls, and then you progress on, and it would take like a week. But it was a big deal. It was fun. And, in football, they play them all at Jerry World. And they do that. They play them on different days. They play them at different times. They go back to back, and it's a big deal. And so I'm hoping over time that's where we get. What I'm afraid of with 3 different sites is you'll get, games happening still at the same time. And again, I think ideally you'd like to be able to watch them all as a fan. And maybe we don't get there, but you could still crisscross across town to see what you wanted to see. So we're getting closer. We're getting there. We're making progress. Do what we have with state track. State track is so wildly successful because everybody's there together, and it's just like a like-minded, there to party and have fun and do all the things that come along with it. So this is a good start. We'll see what kind of progress is made, but I bet it doesn't take very long before everybody looks at this and is like, man, that was awesome. And that was a really good
why
thing.
have we done this the whole time? Yeah, for sure. And, the other thing about it that I think you're kind of really alluding to overall is that, showcase it, right? Like when you have everything in the same place, everything going on at once, you're showcasing, everybody. You're showcasing Kansas high school basketball all in one place. Make it a big, big event, like you said, for everybody to catch. Imagine, like I was fortunate enough to, like I mentioned, fortunate enough to watch Dean Wade win some state titles 3 in a row. His senior year, they went undefeated. They went 26-0. Of course, now he's in the, few games away from potentially being in the NBA finals. So, boy, how great would that be if you're able to say, it's like, yeah, I saw all the players, big schools, small schools, including an NBA star who came out of St. John, Kansas. I mean, the opportunity to showcase it all in one place, I think that's what we're getting to, and I think it's all good development.
Yeah, it's on the way. It's on the way, and we're happy about it and glad that it's there. If you have any thoughts on that, let us know. Give us a call. So Brady, another story. You're moderately a race fan, right? Am I right about that?
Growing up, especially. I don't follow as closely as I used to, but growing up, big time. I was a big Dale Earnhardt guy.
So the Kyle Busch news is pretty staggering. Dies yesterday at the age of 41. If you haven't seen that, got sick, has just been racing recently. The 2-time Cup Series champion won his last truck race. That's how suddenly this has all been. That race was like a week ago. Has been a great character for the sport. And it's just like, this is staggering. I don't know if it's to the level of Dale Earnhardt, but it's just tragic that it strikes NASCAR again, just the unexpected loss of such a megastar in the sport. But whoa, that's as stunning a sports or celebrity death as I can remember. Just feels like that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I had no idea, because when I heard about it, I was like, wait, I didn't even think he was sick or there were any issues at all. And like you said, he won a truck race. He's been back in the Cup Series. Not that he ever really left, but I mean, I remember watching young, because on Sundays, going to my grandma and grandpa's, my grandpa would always have some sort of auto racing on during this time of year. Usually, whether it was open wheel IndyCar, NASCAR, didn't really matter. And I became a Dale Earnhardt fan and Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan, which reminds me to remind you, Jacob, if you like sports documentaries on Prime Video, there's an Earnhardt documentary series I just got into. Actually, I just started watching it like a couple days ago. I'm like, oh man, this is reminding me of my racing fandom back in the day. And then I wake up and see the Kyle Busch news. I was like, well, that's kind of weird to watch a bunch of NASCAR again all of a sudden, or watching this documentary on Earnhardt. And Kyle Busch, when he came on the scene, he was extremely young, but extremely talented. And even though I was not necessarily a Kyle Busch guy at first, because him and Dale Jr. were kind of rivals there a little bit, so obviously didn't like him. But Kyle Busch came out a lot like Dale Earnhardt Sr. did. This young guy, very, very brash, very aggressive driving style with a lot of the old guard or the current guard saying like, well, who's this kid think he is driving the way he's driving? But he's so good. And he just shot up. Like, if I remember right, nobody's won across all three of the major series. Nobody's won more races than Kyle Busch in NASCAR history. And for him to pass away at 141, Jacob, and I'm 40. So anytime anybody's passing away at that age, it's so much more weird and surreal to me now. That was out of nowhere. And again, just that he was hospitalized. I don't know if you read a little bit about it, but he was doing a driving simulator, and I guess he became unconscious after that. In the previous race, he was wanting a shot after the race. He was dealing with some sort of respiratory issues or something, and then goes in the hospital with a severe illness, is I think all we've been told, and he dies in the hospital. And it's just like, where did that come from?
Well, we put these people on a pedestal like they're
right.
superheroes and invulnerable.
Right.
And it's just, what a massive loss to the sports world. I mean, I think everybody's reaction was kind of the same. Just like, what? That's not that has to be a typo. What are you talking about?
And I think
family feel terrible about it. God, it's horrible. What?
Yeah. You mentioned Dale Earnhardt and kind of the shock that was. And I'll never forget that, because the big shock about that was that we all saw it. I mean, that was all on live TV. That was a pretty hyped Daytona 500 at the time. You had Dale Jr. in there, Michael Waltrip, Dale Earnhardt's guys, but obviously his son and Michael Waltrip drove for him, and they're going 1-2 in the 500. And then he last lap hits in that same spot that for some NASCAR history buffs out there, Neil Bonnet, which was a big friend of Dale Earnhardt and a big name in the 80s and early 90s in NASCAR, maybe late 70s too, died in that same sort of spot on the track. And that was so shocking. I won't put it right there just because Dale Earnhardt was, 7-time champion. He was, God, basically. So, to see God die on live TV was so surreal. But this is probably one of the bigger ones, though. Easily the biggest one since probably in all of auto racing as far as notoriety, stardom. And again, just the brash, aggressive, very competent driver that Kyle Busch was. It makes it more surreal, I think, because he was just he seemed so tough, so invincible. And
I don't follow the sport
crazy.
A great deal. The most I did was when we used to have JR and Warren in here back in the, decade ago on Sports Daily with Bruce. Those guys would come in and we'd pick NASCAR races every week, and I would just go off the wall. But I always got the impression, and the radio show I did in another market before that, we did the same sort of thing. We had a NASCAR segment, and I always got the same impression that Kyle Busch was the polarizing guy, right?
Yeah.
Like he was the guy that people had an opinion on one way or the other. And that's hard to do in sports. It's hard to bring. Every sport is looking for that, right? Every sport wants that star that is polarizing, that you want to watch no matter what, whether you're rooting for them or against them. And Kyle Busch has been that, really, it felt like, since day one. Who's the headline guy? Who reaches outside the race and people, might have an opinion on that aren't watching the races every day. And he's that guy. And I'm with you. He is my age and has a family, and the speed at which all this happened is sobering. Like, what on earth? How does that happen so fast like that? And it makes you not want to take it for granted. But rest in peace, certainly, to Kyle Busch, a great star of American sports. Horrible story. Everybody's heartbroken that this has happened, but Kyle Busch dies 41 years old after a brief hospitalization and a very quick sequence of events that happened. And we'll get more details about what exactly happened, I'm sure, over the coming days and weeks. But it is, this went from, I found out he went to the hospital yesterday morning, and then by the afternoon he was gone. So we'll need some more information on that for sure. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but again, we'll send some thoughts and prayers out to the entire race community. I know it's a tight-knit group, and sorry to everybody that experiences a huge loss there with Kyle Busch. Okay, we'll reset here a little bit, Brady. After the break, there's a lot of headlines this week about the Big Ten and their meetings and all of these things, and the resort they're staying at while complaining about not being able to make enough money and those things. The SEC is also meeting now, and this becomes really critical, not so much into what the Big Ten was whining about and talking about breaking away and everything, but back to that 24-team college football playoff. The SEC apparently, Brady, is a little split on that. We'll get you the latest reporting there and why that's so important to the future of the college football playoff. What do we think is going to happen here? What do we want to see with this, to be quite honest? It'll all be there and unfold probably with whatever comes out of these meetings, because if you get the SEC agreeing with the Big Ten, we know that the Big 12 and ACC now want 24. The Big Ten is wanting 24 with not really much other discussion. If the SEC agrees with that, here we go. So we'll discuss that on the other side. Glad to be here with you. Thanks to Prayer Fire Coffee for keeping the entire Odyssey family fueled up and ready to go. It's Albrecht and Bowman on a Friday. We're coming right back.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Go! Sports Daily is on KFH.
Welcome back in, everybody. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of the program. Big weekend out there. Weather looks good. Got to get in some golf. Got to get in the big grand opening of the best pool in town, so I contend. And all the kids' activities as school is getting out begin at Crestview camps almost every day. It is a great spot for the family. Give them a call. Ask them about all the different memberships. Take a tour. Check it out. We appreciate Crestview. Tell them we sent you when you stop by. All right, we come back. Brady Bowman in with Jacob Albrecht here. Max Power producing. Here we go, Brady. This is the big one, I think. The SEC now meeting for their conference meetings. And the big topic of conversation is going to be this football expansion. You've had the coaches as a group, right, collectively, not every individual coach, but the coaches organization come out and say, we want a 24-team playoff. Pretty easy to understand why coaches want a 24-team playoff, right? The Big 12 and the ACC have both come out in support now of a 24-team playoff. The Big 10 has been the most enthusiastic about it. In fact, they don't even care about a 16 anymore. They want 24 and nothing else. And so then we get to the SEC. And there's a lot of factors at play here when it comes to the SEC. They are split, it sounds like, according to reporting, that there's a handful of the members that want 24. There's a handful of members that want to go 16 first and then 24. And then there's a handful of members that want to go 16 and then wait and let's see what happens. I believe they have to sort of agree on this to make it happen. And so these meetings now will be, I guess, some politicking to try to get people to agree. This feels like a pretty big moment for college football, Brady, whatever comes out of this one way or the other.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, we're kind of at a big crossroads, and like you said, with the Big Ten talking about what they've been talking about, 24 teams. Which, I mean, what do you think about that? I watched a little bit yesterday. You and TJ talk about this, and it's weird, right? Because we all love it. We all love it. We're going to keep watching. I mean, I'm going to keep watching college football. Same with college basketball, if we want to lump college basketball in with this discussion as well. But it's just getting harder and harder to take it too seriously as far as from that old school collegiate sort of view from back in the day. because I don't know what the difference is between college football and college basketball than pros right now, to be honest. So it's all kind of about money. It's about TV ratings and all those sort of things, and we're going to keep watching. But it's just when you go to 24, now it just really opens the door to be like, any fan of their school who finished in the top 24, top 25 can always say it's like, we would have been a college football playoff team that year. Well, of course, they've opened the window. They've opened the door to so many more. It's kind of watered down now.
You don't want to know what my real opinions on this are. Probably.
Well, you had some hot takes yesterday.
Most people won't like what I have to say on this. I kind of am with Mike Leach, right? Mike Leach, I envisioned a 64-team football playoff, a shorter regular season, home sides through Thanksgiving, and get there. Now, I'm not sure I've ever wanted 64. I don't, in fact. But again, like for me, who went to a Division II school and watched and covered that playoff for a long time, and I believe it's 32, it is a blast when you get there. And there's just as much drama and controversy and everything else to see who gets there. They did it by region when I was in school. Don't know what they do anymore. They did it by region when I was in school. And you had basically 8 teams from 4 regions. I think 2 in each one got a bye or something like that. And then they'd play it out and whatever. It was fun. It was fun. And it was, I think it was born in the same idea, in the same challenges we face in college football. And this is what's always bothered me about college football. There is no great path to get to a champion because we have so many teams, 128 FCS teams. And for a long time, those 128 teams had 2 spots in a playoff. Then it went to 4 spots in a playoff. Now we're at 12, less than 10%, right? Less than 10%. How many football teams make it? 14 out of 32. Is that right? 7 teams each conference. 14 out of
sounds right.
Right? That's 43% of the teams. 43%. In baseball, we've expanded now to a couple of wild cards. So what does that make? 10 out of 30? About 33%. And baseball's always felt pretty exclusive. We're only still, if we went 24 and you went 24 out of 128, you're still only at 18%. So there is still an exclusivity to it, even at 24, that the other pro sports or major sporting things we watch don't achieve. You're still more exclusive than everything else you watch, even at 24 teams. So do I think it has to go to 24? I don't. I've said forever that as long as you can at minimum give me the power conference champions in whatever the playoff looks like, I have to be satisfied with that. Because forever, the reason I've really struggled with college football versus pro or anything else, why it's been further down my totem pole as a general fan, right? Not the teams we cover, not the things like that, is because for way too much of the regular season, you feel like you're watching games that don't matter because you have no chance to get there, right?
Yeah.
We have no chance to reach the postseason. Oh, no, we played a really tough non-conference game early in the season and we lost. No chance to now go to win a championship in my sport. That is not the right way to approach it. That does not make the regular season better to me. It makes the regular season's relevance end far too soon for way too many teams. So when we went to 12, I'm like, I've got to be okay with that. And I have been okay with that. I think 12 has been fine. Do I think it can be more? Absolutely, I do. Do I think it needs to go all the way up to 24? Not necessarily. I'll be fine if it does go to 24. I can't see any scenario where they start a 24-team playoff, and by the time that gets started, I'm not excited about that. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. And the fact that they're at 24 teams will make me watch exactly 0% less college football in the regular season. I'm not going to sit there at a regular season game I'm excited for and say, yeah, you know what? Both of these teams might make the college football playoff anyway. I'm just not going to watch that. Like, let's be serious for a minute. Nobody does that. Nobody will do that. In fact, the other thing will happen. Maybe we're sitting there, Brady, watching a K-State football game, and they got 2 losses in October and November, and they're playing another team with 2 losses. And you're like, damn, this game, like, they got to win this game.
If they want, it's a playoff game, yeah.
Like, nothing will change in that regard. And people that think it will are being naive. Like, you've been held hostage by this idea forever, and it's silly. And it has been so skewed to so few teams and conferences that, to me, it's tarnished the sport for eternity. We're closer now than we ever have been in a 12 team to getting to the point where you feel good about representation of the teams that you watch, right? And so to say, oh, we're going to go to 24, is it a money grab? Of course it's a money grab. Guess what? Schools need money right now. The big holdup, I think, right now for the SEC, back to the news on this, is what happens, because in a 24-team playoff, there's not really room for conference championships. They may still be able to salvage that, but that's the loss of money they now have to weigh up against a potential gain of money. The SEC's always had ties to ESPN. ESPN doesn't want this. So how much is that factoring in? ESPN controls the narrative of college football far too often. I think we all know that. And far too often, because they show a bunch of SEC games, they've favored the SEC, right? So that should not be a factor in this, because bringing more television partners to the table on this is the right thing for everybody. It absolutely is. It's going to drive up revenue. It's going to drive up TV deals. It's going to drive up everything. So college football should sit there and say, hey, ESPN, shut the hell up. Like, the big boys are talking. We'll tell you when we're ready for your bid. That's what should happen here. And ESPN will bid because they have no other way to fill their programming. Like, they 100%, what are they going to do? Not air college football games?
Right.
Of course they will. So that should not enter into this equation one sliver. I'm guessing that this is going to go straight to 24. And I'm guessing that there will be a lot of pearl clutching, and everyone will pretend like college football is dead. And then we'll get to that first 24-team playoff, and whether, smart Alex from their podium say this isn't as exciting anymore, but I can guarantee you that the fans of the teams playing in those games as they're played will have never been more fired up for their games. Never. Because they're in a playoff. I mean, that is the story as old as time. It doesn't matter if there's 150 playoff teams. If you know it's a playoff game, you're fired up for it. And that's what will happen with fans. There's a lot of logistics for it. You have to decide when do we play these games? Where do we play these games? How are the spots divvied up that can be debated until the end of time and are really important factors in this. But to say going to 24 teams will make the sport less popular, in my opinion, is not true at all. And people fear that. I get it, but it's not true. We've never seen that be the case in any other sports scenario that I can think of, where we've done a playoff expansion and it's become less popular because of it. Never seen that happen that I can remember. And
that's true. Yeah, Jacob, I think you sold me, actually, because, you bring up a lot of good points. And, I think the biggest thing when it comes to college football is getting those power teams in the championships. I think we could still save conference championships by, it's a 12-game regular season now. I mean, why don't we just make it 10?
You'd have to do a conference playoff. You'd have to do... I don't know how you do it. Honestly, you'd have to tie money to the conference championship, probably for the players to justify it, and just say you can share the pool of how X number of dollars if we win the conference championship. But there will still be, and I get it, like if you're a team that's going to be a shoe-in for a 24 team, you may be like, well, we don't need to play this game to get in. We got to be careful and make sure we're equipped and ready to go for the end of this thing.
there is that risk. Yeah.
And that's the big one. That's the big risk. Now, if they can figure out, Brady, that the money is the same, then I don't think they're going to care as much. And if you figure out a way to have some of these games played on home campuses, home sites in the early rounds, I also think that those become easier things to swallow, to say like, okay, but you're walking in at the end of the season, and I mean, you just take a regular season champion is all you do, which is not new. I mean, that's been the case in a lot of places, right? You can just say you're the conference champion because of the tiebreakers in place or whatever.
And that's where I see the tiebreakers being a good use of still having some conference championship games to kind of figure out who's kind of on the edge getting in. This could propel them across, those sort of things. But yeah, there's enough meaningless regular season games where you got like SEC schools playing like, schools you never heard of. Like, do we need that game? Well, let's lessen that and add more playoff
You might
games.
lose, you might lose Alabama and Radford or whatever it is.
Right.
At
Oh,
the end of
no.
the year.
Yeah.
Oh no. But people don't like the regular season because they're so locked.
I'd rather have another playoff game than that game. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly right. All right, we're coming back. We got another hour. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, Tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, so you know the drill. We're going to turn on the hot dog cannon, and for every hot dog that you catch in your mouth, you get $100 toward a boob job that you desperately need.
I know.
Okay, here we go. Oh, a miss! Oh, you got her in the eye with that one. Whoa, that one was a teat-seeking missile.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
You're listening to the radio. Oh, my God.
Max bringing the heat on a Friday, getting you ready. His old FM DJ days are bleeding through here to Sports Daily. Glad to be with you. Jake Ballbrock, Brady Bowman on a Friday. Brady in for TJ. We're getting ready for the Memorial Day weekend. Was looking like we were going to get, sunshine and everything there for a minute, Brady. Now it's we got the clouds out. It was just drizzling outside right now. So we'll see about that. I think Memorial Day will be nice. But just beware. Have that Storm Team 12 weather app handy. Thanks for watching us on 12 News Connected right now. Thanks for watching us on Facebook, YouTube, and X as well. You can comment on our video streams, get those through. You can call us at 869-1240. We got Jaylon Thompson coming up this hour. We'll talk a little Royals after the day off into a weekend series at home against the Mariners for the Royals. We'll have that this hour. We'll have some headlines here. Not necessarily that I missed without TJ here, but we will go over some of the headlines that we haven't talked about just yet and get you the rest of things happening in the sports world. It's all What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring Go Hazy, folks, IPA, a beer that's as soft and dreamy as a day game with a hint of mischief, just like our national pastime. This one will ease you through the innings of life until the big moment when it's once again time to go hazy, folks. WBC, pizza and beer made here.
Need some of that for the Royals.
Yeah, that's
sure.
Right. They
make you feel a little hazy after watching the Royals sometimes.
Feeling a little something. Max, let's hit the liner anyway, but we'll go through some headlines here.
All right, Sports Daily fans, let's take you to the sports headlines Jacob probably didn't see.
I did see these because we're going to talk about them, but you know the drill. Most of the time, this is where Brady TJ enlightens me because he's far more connected with social media.
He tells me, yes.
So if you have any, if you've been scouring around and I've missed what's trending on X, feel free to enlighten me here. I don't know how locked into that stuff you are. I am not by choice mostly, but there are some headlines that I would like to get to today. One of them is Matthew Stafford. An extension with the Rams adds another year to his deal. Okay, so he, according to ESPN, gets a 1-year extension worth up to $60 million in incentives. It's well paid. He's now on a 2-year deal. If he reaches everything, he'll make about $50 million a year for the next couple of years, makes him the 8th highest paid quarterback in the league. He'll have $40 million guaranteed this year. This is interesting, mostly, Brady, because they went and they just drafted Ty Simpson in the first round. So now are they telling us they're committing to 2 years of Stafford? Which is fine because Stafford was really good last year. Why'd you take Ty Simpson in the first round? I mean, are we on a Jordan Love path here? Do they just love the idea of Simpson enough that they're willing to say, we'll wait it out? I don't, is this a, hey, Matt, don't get mad at us here for doing this? It's a curious one.
Yeah, this is the reigning MVP too. Don't forget about that.
He had a great year.
Yeah. How old is Matt Stafford? Jacob, do you remember?
He's at what, 38. 40? Let me check 38? That.
I thought it was somewhere around there.
Accurate. He is 38 years old. He just turned 38 years old. So in February. So this will be an age 38 season for him.
Yeah, I think he still probably has some at least 3 or 4 years left, maybe. And I don't know, because Tom Brady going as long as he did really skewed our whole concept of how long a quarterback or really NFL player can go at a high level. But I think if anybody can do it, I think Stafford has those capabilities. I mean, to me, he's getting his flowers recently, and especially when he won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. But I've always thought he was always underrated. He was with the Detroit team for so long. And, I think it's worth it. But I think right now the Rams are just trying to navigate making that pick, that Ty Simpson pick, makes sense. And I don't know right now how you make it make sense in any way, because you either like hold on to him and wait maybe 3 years if that's your plan down the road. But then you're thinking, like, who does that anymore? Taking a guy that high to play 3 or 4 years later, that just doesn't happen anymore. And at the same time, it's kind of like Stafford's coming off an MVP year. Why he's shown you no reason to doubt that he still has it for the foreseeable future. So yeah, they're in a sticky situation with that. I think they're kind of in a no-win on how to navigate that situation by drafting Simpson as high as they did.
Well, I mean, look, if you love Simpson, you love Simpson, right? No big deal. It's no big deal to love Simpson. And it's no big deal if you love him that much and he's a quarterback to pull the trigger. That's fine. It's a really curious like sequence of events.
Yeah.
You draft him and then you extend Stafford?
Yeah, none of it makes it. Yeah, just okay.
I would say that missing on your first round pick, if Simpson, like if the Rams sit here now, 2 seasons later, so what, 3 years, I guess, from right now, and we're having the conversation of, oh man, now they've got Ty Simpson's just been sitting there and Matthew Stafford, is still playing at a high level. That's probably a best case scenario for the Rams.
Sure.
And so there is that part of it too. They have such a good roster where they were like, we really liked the idea of Simpson. If something happens to Stafford, we feel good about the player. We think we could develop him. And whether it's, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, we feel like he can be our quarterback of the future. I think they're going to catch too much grief on this, to be perfectly honest. This really, all that matters in this entire equation is Ty Simpson any good? It's the only thing that matters. Are we still talking about the Packers goofing by trading Jordan Love? I don't think so.
No.
Jordan Love's not even, you could probably still debate whether he's a really good NFL quarterback, but nobody's now retroactively saying, oh, the Packers blew it by taking Jordan Love early.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because he ended up being a pretty good quarterback at worst. And so I think that's all that matters in this. We'll get into and we'll debate until the time comes whether they made a mistake by doing it. But the only thing that matters is if he's any good. And again, if Stafford makes it hard on him and has 2 more great years, the best thing that ever could have happened to the Rams.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, a bad scenario would be like if you're trying to find out right away how good Ty Simpson is because something happened with
Right. Stafford
Right.
gets hurt. Simpson comes in, and you're like, oh, man, that guy is not going to be any good in the NFL.
This is kind of like a little bit like the Michael Penix situation in a way. I mean, not quite the same because
Penix
I'm not
is a
putting
little
Kirk Cousins
different
with
because
Stafford.
they went and signed Cousins to a mega contract and then drafted Penix.
Right.
Like Stafford, there was no question Stafford was already and is already the guy. Cousins was new. They'd never seen Cousins play. Right? Like he was
proven with the Vikings. He came out.
But he was coming off of an injury, and
sure.
You know, Simpson feels more like we've got Stafford, but man, this guy's the best guy on our board and we like him. What? Let's just take him. We're good anyway. Let's just take him. Whereas the Falcons felt like they wanted to take Penix, like from the outright. And it's like, well, then why did you sign Cousins?
It's kind of a reverse in a way.
Yeah,
I
think it's a little different. This one felt a little more like, well, time will tell, right? But like when the Chiefs took Mahomes, it's not that they didn't like Alex Smith. They loved Alex Smith. But man, they really loved Mahomes. And so they made the call there. Do the Rams feel that way about Ty Simpson? That's what we'll have to find out. I don't know that they did. There's been a lot of drama around that because you saw, you know, the head coach, Sean McVay, not seem particularly excited about it and all those things. So whereas with Mahomes, everybody was obviously very excited about it.
Sure.
But I do. I'm with you. I think it's a pretty interesting little scenario there. NFL, another headline, the Giants make their coaching change, but they give their general manager an extension. It's kind of interesting. I don't know what I would say the trajectory of that franchise is. I think having Harbaugh there makes it a lot easier. And they, you know, you feel good about Jackson Dart. You feel good about Malik Neighbors. You feel good about Cam Scatterbo. So they've been doing some things. I suppose I can understand it, but they sure
defensive guys.
They could be a team. They could be a team that sneaks up. They could be a team that sneaks up. Don't you think? And it's like, oh man, the Giants are.
They've proven to be a team that can sneak up from time to time, or just all of a sudden, like they're just really good. Like, you know, those Tom Coughlin teams. I mean, some of those teams at the beginning of the year weren't expected to, you know, be throwing a perfect season, and they did it. But yeah, they have the resources. I think they got some players, but yeah, the GM extension was interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting. All right. We're going to come back. We got Jaylon Thompson in the house. Let's talk some Royals when we return. Sky is falling. We're going to ask Jaylon Thompson our favorite question. Where's his panic meter? The cliche coming next on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83-10-01 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
It's 9/12/40.
Time to get busy.
This is Sports Daily on KFH. And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
And we welcome you back in here as we welcome in Jaylon Thompson, our Royals insider, Kansas City Star, getting you ready for another homestand. Jaylon, I teased this, and you heard it in the waiting room before the break. Man, panic meter now. I mean, we got to be 10 out of 10, don't we?
I don't think so. No, because the season is still. You got so many games.
I know, but like, what are we seeing that gives us the confidence that they're going to be able to string this together?
I mean, I know people don't want to hear it, and we don't like it when they tell us this, but we got to give them the benefit of the doubt when they say it's baseball. That knows it's very cliche, and every time they say it, we don't want to hear it, but they could go out and win 6 straight games. They could sweep the Mariners, and they could sweep the Yankees, which I don't think that's going to happen, but it's possible they could. If they won 6 straight games, Now you're looking at 26-30, and you're right back in it, right? So you can't say it's over, right? There's fundamentally problems that they need to fix, but I wouldn't say that they're worried where it's 10 out of 10, the sky is falling, let's jump off the ledge. I pull it back a little bit. If they get to 100 games into the season and they're still playing bad, then you can say, okay, it's done. But it's only 50 games in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's true. I mean, the numbers do not lie, Jaylon, when you make it, bring it in that light. But boy, I mean, the difference in feeling now compared, we're about to go against the Mariners again. The feelings now compared to last time the Royals played Seattle and how good we were feeling after that. I mean, like because everything was looking like what you're just now talking about. It's like, oh, they can go on a run. We can get right back in it. They did. They brought me back in. I was feeling all the hope in the world. And then they get swept by the Red Sox. And it's just kind of like, oh, I'm a fool. Why? Why I believed for a moment. I was back in, but now it's tough. But Jaylon, I mean, you're right. But boy, what do we need to see? I mean, who needs to bring it back right now? Who's? And I think I asked you this last time. Actually, last time I did this was like, who needs to save the team and get them out of this rut? Is it the offense or the bullpen right now? Where, to me, I watching to gain more confidence going forward. Boy, I would like to see that bullpen step up. But at the same time, I see some lost leads where the pitching did their job and the hitting wasn't there. It's just getting it all together at once. That seems to be the issue right now.
Yeah, Brady, I think if you're really you want the Royals to turn around, there's one thing they have to do, and that is for everyone to do their job and play the way that they know they can play. You can't have Michael Garcia not run out a ball that was hit into right field and then try to make an aggressive play and get the second base. You can't have Lane Thomas try to time up a reliever and get thrown out at third base. You can't have Carter Jensen have pass balls and wild pitches go right by him behind the plate. Those cannot happen. Those are things where it's not about talent. It's about fundamentals. They have to be better at the fundamentals. Every single guy in that clubhouse. If they do that, then you can start winning those games where you're not making those mistakes. That's really the difference between the Royals this year and the Royals the last 2 years, are the fundamental mistakes. They have made them, and it has cost them. In that series against the Red Sox, they could have won all 3 games. The first game, they lost because they couldn't get on the base pass. Well, that second game, they couldn't lose because they couldn't win on the base pass. The first game, they lost by 1 run. The third game, they lost by 1 run. It's there. They have to be better.
84 wins. That's got to be the minimum it would take to get in a wild card spot, right? They're not getting in for less than 84. That's 64-40, I believe, down the stretch for the Royals.
Yeah. I don't even think we should be at a point where we think about the wild card or think about the division right now. If you are a Royals fan right now, you need to think about getting back to 500. Then you just
by what, the All-Star break?
Where you are.
Is that a deadline? 500 by the All-Star break?
I would say you get to 500 by the end of June. If you can get to 500 by the end of June, then you are in a good spot. So by July 1st.
I would,
because when you look at July, you're going to have teams that are going to start positioning themselves to make moves because the trade deadline is on August 3rd. So, or August 2nd, I believe, one of those days. You need to position yourself to be in that spot. You're 10 games under right now. It's ugly, but it's not like it's impossible to come back. The division is still somewhat down the road. You can see it a little bit. You're going to have to win a lot of games, but I just think you have to just take it one day at a time, and you have to be like, all right, let's win this one. We win this one by playing fundamentally sound. We win this one by pitching well. We're doing the little things. The Royals don't do the little things at all. When's the last time you seen them drop down a bunt outside of Kyle Isbell?
Effectively,
they can't do that. They can't do that, right?
They can't run the bases right now. There's okay. So let me take that into the next one, and we appreciate you finally having a word with Matt Quatraro and getting Jack Caglione on the field. 2 for 8 with 5 strikeouts against the 2 lefties there against Boston. Just for the record, it's not it's not great, but it's something. He won't, I don't think, they won't face a lefty against the Mariners, so we don't have to worry about it. But it does bring up the those decisions, base running issues. There's a big pocket of fans now, I think, frustrated because, like, what is the organization going to do to send the message that this is not okay, that this is not good enough? Do you think something needs to be sent here, or is it just one of those put your head down and preach patience? I don't know how I feel about that answer, by the way. I don't really have a strong take on it because you are only 50 games in. But it does at times to see them continue to make mistakes and play poorly. You're like, what are we doing here? Like 4 other organizations across baseball have made major changes. Some of them have been highly beneficial.
So that's a good question, Jacob. And I think people have to look at this from a business standpoint. Look at where the Royals are at. This is Kansas City. It's a small market. You just paid your manager a 3-year extension. If you get rid of him, you're eating all that money. I don't think they want to do that. If you get rid of an assistant, that's just a scapegoat situation. It doesn't change anything.
Right.
You're just appeasing a fan by saying, hey, look, we're doing something here. I don't think as a small market team, you make those decisions from a business perspective, from an operations perspective. You have to realize this is who the Royals are right now. This is their team. If the roles were reversed and you had someone like a Ned Yost that was the manager and he went 20 and 30, would they really fire Ned Yost at this point? They wouldn't. So I don't think you have to give Matt Quatraro time. He just had back-to-back winning seasons. They didn't do that since the 80s. I think so since 2014, 2015, I'm sorry, and then since the 80s. So that's hard to do.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Jaylon. That's a good stat to mention. We've been talking a little bit about, really not just today, but I think probably the last few weeks, really, I guess the whole season at this point. What's the panic meter for the fandom out there? What are you sensing in the clubhouse? How are the players? How are coaches?
Yeah,
where's that meter with them? Are they kind of in your frame of mind of like, let's just get the 500, let's get there, then we can worry about everything else after that? Or is it just kind of cliche, one game at a time? Are you feeling that the players, the coaches are starting to kind of feel some of the panic and worry that fans and media writers, et cetera, are starting to feel a little bit?
Well, I can tell you right now, Brady, pre-game, you don't hear any music playing in the clubhouse. And normally you usually hear music playing in the clubhouse. After the games, they usually allow children to come in and, be with their dads, and if they win. We haven't seen a lot of kids running around since they haven't won. They lost 9 out of 10, right? The guys are, at least from my estimation, they're taking it as status quo. It's still kind of, having a good time, enjoying themselves, being good teammates. Yes. There's guys playing chess. There's guys playing cards. There's guys, doing the crossword puzzles and things of that nature, having good conversation. But that's all surface level. You can tell underneath all of that, these guys probably are pressing a little bit. These guys are playing this game, and the game is not going in their favor. And there's stressors. When we talk to Vinny Pasquantino, and he's putting on a brave face, but you can tell it's getting to him. You can tell he's not happy with his performance, and why should he be? He's not playing well, right? Salvador Perez is going to always have a smile on his face, but you can tell when he's not playing well. You can tell Michael Garcia is frustrated. He slams his bat, slams his helmet. So, yeah, I mean, these guys just aren't playing to their ability. But the key is if they find something, some kind of way that clicks, and then they go and get on that and run, what's the conversation now? That's the question. When do they finally kick it into gear? I don't know if you can wait much longer to do that if you want to get to where you want to get to at the end of the season. But so that's why I say for right now, win Friday. Don't worry about Saturday. Don't worry about Sunday against the Mariners. Win Friday. And then go from there. So I guess that today mantra that Matt Cottrell preaches all the time, you really need to have it right now because you're 10 games under.
You're 10 games under, and you're looking at the next 6, and you're just like, uh-oh. I mean, they're about to face the Royals they've certainly been better at home, but they have not been very good against really good pitching, and they're about to face 3 of the best pitchers in the American League.
I will say this, and this is just my opinion. If they lose these next 6 games and they go 0-9 on this road homestand, then I think you might have to have a conversation with someone. I'm not saying the manager because I don't think they're going to get rid of Matt Cottrell. I do not think they're going to do that. But I think they'll get rid of maybe an assistant. I don't know. Because you can't lose 9 games at home.
No.
You just can't.
Well, this next series, that's what makes the Red Sox series so frustrating. The Mariners right now are significantly better than the Red Sox, and the Yankees are significantly better than both of them. The Mariners and the Yankees can pitch, and the Royals just have flat not hit good pitching this year.
But they swept the Mariners, though.
I understand. The Mariners are playing much better, and you go in Gilbert Kirby Woo with Cameron Kolick to start it off, and then Lugo, and who knows which Lugo we're going to get. Like, that's where I keep looking at this, and I'm with you on a lot of what you're saying. It's too early to be draconian, but when you see the injuries to the pitching staff, and you see Lugo struggling a little bit, and those are the things where I'm like, okay, yeah, they still have a chance, but then I actually still have to think about, well, what are the chances they could actually do what we're saying is still on the table? Well, when you're missing all these pitchers and everything else, it's like, yeesh. Like, where's that coming from?
And you know what else you need that they haven't really got yet? What was the key piece of 2024? If you look at that year, what was the key driving piece for them?
Well, they were clutch as hell in 2024.
They
haven't been since last 2 years. They've been about as unclutch as you could be, which is basically
anti-clutch,
hit with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, exactly. But I was gonna say it's got to be on Bobby Witt Jr. I know we all love Bobby. He's a 5-tool player
for this year,
but he has to be like, you know what? I'm stopping this. He needs to go on that week like he did in 2024 in June when he was like went berserk and hit like 575.
Yeah.
And he carried the team.
Need that.
You might need your best player to be like, you know what? I got this.
But I mean, he's going to be the MVP if they took the vote today. Maybe not since the Royals are 10 games under 500, but by WAR, he's got the highest WAR in baseball. Has he lost that mantle? Maybe he has.
We'll see. In my
opinion, hard to tell Bobby Witt Jr. to play better. He's been outstanding this year.
I know, but that's what you're expecting.
What they need.
That guy.
I know.
You got to have. It's like Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge can hit 30, 40 home runs, and you're like, you got to play better. You're Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
So if Bobby Witt Jr. and I'm not criticizing Bobby Witt Jr. at all. I think he's great. He's doing his job. But when if you're the face of the team and the team clearly needs something, you got to lift them over you got to go to that superstar level, that extra superstar level. Kind of like in basketball with LeBron James. When it's playoff time, he carries the team. And I think, Bobby, if you're going to be that franchise top player, superstar, face of the league, your team, you got to carry them for a couple of games. until people start getting that support that he needs. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like if you're the top guy, you gotta. All right, we ain't losing no more.
I think what it comes back to, Jaylon, is kind of what you mentioned when you're talking about kind of the mood in the clubhouse and just kind of that tension and that awareness that something needs to happen. Things are not going right. We're kind of on the edge here. We could lose the whole season if we're not careful.
Yeah,
and it just seems like everybody is pressing, and that maybe even Witt Jr. is starting to feel that, oh, it has to be me. I got to think of something. It just seems like everybody from Q onward, everybody, they're in that pressing mode right now.
They need to have a leader step up in that clubhouse and be like, this is it.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't around in 2014 and 2015, but I can guarantee you, if Eric Hosmer, Alex Gordon, Lorenzo Cain, they're 10 games under, heads are rolling. They're gonna snip it in the bud, right? Nip it in the bud. The Royals gotta have someone like that.
Yeah, there was trust, and it just doesn't feel like there's any trust right now. Because not that everybody has a low opinion of each other. I don't think it's that type of clubhouse, but it just seems like everybody's just panicking. Like, well, I can't do it right now. It needs to be you, or it needs to be you, and everybody's just hoping it's somebody else. When, like what you're saying, Jaylon, somebody just needs to put it all on their shoulders. And if it's going to be anybody,
you can't look at Salvi and be like, "What now?" He's 36 years old.
No, but I can look at Vinny and say,
yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is, Salvi's the captain, but to be frank, it's not really his team no more. This is the young guys' team.
I agree with what you're saying. I get it. I just if their only chance is for Bobby Witt Jr. to be even better than he's been so far, I think that's where the panic meter needs to be high.
Sure.
Because
if they lose these next 6 games, you might be at that point.
Just don't do it, Jaylon. I'll be there as a fan Saturday. I'll wave at you. I'll wave at you in the press box.
Sounds good.
All right, Jaylon, we appreciate it. We'll talk again next week.
All right, see you guys later.
We're coming right back on Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83-10-01 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, Brady Bowman. Our thanks to Jaylon Thompson for stopping by and being a part of the show.
Giving us hope.
Yeah, he's trying, man, and I am
trying.
too. I am too. I'm an optimist by nature. I choose to be that way. I think life is more fun that way. I am. And with baseball, I'm an optimist. And I would tell you that the season's not over for sure. But man, we're just not seeing them play very well. And like, there's not like the hope that you would draw to right now is strictly in the fact that the American League hasn't been very good this year.
Luckily,
that's what makes it hard for me. Like the hope isn't that, because they're going to start playing so much better that it's naturally they're going to climb back into it. Right. The hope is just, everyone else has kind of sucked too. Right. And that's where I'm like, are they going to be able to play better at any point? Like, I'd like to think they will be able to, but I just don't know if they'll be able to, like,
plus,
where is that going to come from? What would potentially change to get us to that point?
Plus, we're kind of thinking the same thing like everybody, right? Like, the season's still young. We'll improve. We'll get better. Well, other teams are probably going to do the same thing.
Well, some certainly will. Right.
Yeah. So that cushion, that leeway that we still think we have because everybody else is struggling so much too, that's not going to be the case all season long. There's going to be some separation that's going to start. You just hope that you're on the right side of it.
Yeah, exactly. And so now we enter this season for them of the next 6 are going to be brutal. There's a point with this team. We know they're streaky enough where they can kind of go beat anybody. That's also what makes this next little task so daunting is who they have to play over the next 6. You're just like, yeah, even if they played well, they might not win these games, right? These are tough games. These are brutal games. This is a tall task that they now face. But we'll see. They play tonight. You'll get Royals baseball at 6:00. So after Royals baseball, at some point tonight, you'll get Shocker baseball. We don't know exactly what time that game's going to start. The Shockers yesterday, I don't know how much you're watching the American baseball tournament, Brady. So after Wednesday night, winning it in the 9th inning against FAU to get into the double elimination portion of the tournament, they lose one in the 9th inning last night that they went into with the lead. And it was as excruciating for the Shockers Thursday as it was for FAU on Friday. So we're here because they didn't win. Had they won, they'd be playing right now. And they didn't. So now they'll play late tonight. They play the last game of the day. We don't know what time it'll start. It'll be, maybe around 7:30, 8 o'clock. Who knows? But that was a tough one yesterday. And it was, it was a little bit of defense that got them late too, but the back's against the wall. I think they're showing us they can go win any of these games, but you're getting deeper into that pitching staff now. It'll be a tall task today. It'll be a tall task for them to continue it. That win yesterday would have been massive if they could have got it done, and they don't get it done in the 9th, and that's a major bummer.
Yeah, cross our fingers. We all know how big and important baseball is to Wichita and Wichita State and the state of Kansas. I mean, we've got that history. So you want to keep it going. And when an opportunity is missed like it was last night, that's tough to swallow. But, just like we're talking about with the Royals, I mean, it's a much smaller window with the Shockers. They don't have nearly wiggle room right now. I mean, they're in a tournament, but everything's still ahead of them. Just gotta approach it that way.
Everything's there. Man, that's a bummer. Did you see KU yesterday?
I didn't, but I know they're tearing it up. Or at least until yesterday. I don't know. I don't know what happened yesterday.
So they have a huge lead against Baylor, crushing them. Hit like 3 bombs, get a big lead, blow it. They give it all up. They go tied 7-7 into extra innings and then walk it off. KU's got they got something special. They do. To blow the lead like they blew it and still come back, walk it off. That's probably the worst thing that could have happened to the rest of the conference. They'll play again today at is this in Arizona? I think they play
Surprise. Yeah.
6:30 or something. I don't forgive my time zone ignorance. And then K-State lost last night to West Virginia. So K-State's done. KU's going to make the tournament anyway. They're starting to get some run. There, I know ESPN did a big piece on how they put it together through junior college players. And I think KU is a great example. The Big 12 keeps giving us these reminders now of we all want to say the sky is falling in college sports. And yet we always have these stories of some team sneaking in and doing it a new way, right? I think the opportunities for more teams to be relevant across college sports has never been higher. You've caught lightning in a bottle this year for KU. It's a great story, right? And I say this as respectfully as I can. I couldn't name you a KU baseball player, I don't think. But, man, I'm fired up to watch them play because now they represent us, and you got a team in there. And I say this all the time with, players changing and all of this every year. Like, did we not get behind Shocker basketball last year? We didn't know who any of those players were before the year, except TJ Williams. And by the end of it, they were all our favorite players. Something's going to happen with KU. So don't panic before seasons start. You never know when you're going to catch lightning in a bottle. And KU baseball has caught lightning in a bottle, and they're going to go and they're going to play in the NCAA tournament, and they're going to be a part of the College World Series potentially, and that's fantastic. We saw it just a couple years ago. K-State did the same thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember back in the 2012, I believe that was a Big 12 championship year for K-State, and they were one out, I think, from going to Omaha. And, boy, there's nothing more exciting than that. I mean, that's up there when it comes to college athletics. You know, baseball doesn't get the love that the big sports get, but when you got a team that's that close to Omaha, that was an exciting. I watched about every inning that year. And I used to cover K-State baseball for the Manhattan Mercury back in the day too. I learned a lot about baseball by covering those games just in general. So it's a big deal for KU for sure. And, you know, people see behind me, I'm a K-State or K-State alum, and Jacob, I've told you this before in the newsroom that when it comes down to it, when we get to this point, when you said representative, and I think that's a great way to look at it, because that's the way I look at it. When it gets to this level, I just want, I'm a Kansan first, or I'm a Big 12 conference guy first. So whoever's representing our state, whoever's representing the conference, you know, go represent, make us proud, even if it's KU. I've always been that way when it comes to national, when you get to the national stage. I just want our state to be represented, our conference to be represented.
Yeah, I'm with you. I especially with baseball, I haven't seen Wichita State make an NCAA tournament this would be the 11th or 12th, something like that, seasons I've been, watching Shocker baseball. So get in there, KU. They will. They're going to get in, regardless of what happens in this tournament. But maybe they'll be hosting games in Lawrence. How cool would that be? That's kind of I think that's kind of the meat on the bone here of the rest of the Big 12 tournament. Is let's get it to games in Lawrence. How much fun would that be? And that's what I think we're shooting for. But we'll see them in action again today. The Shockers also in action today for baseball and college baseball. College baseball is a hard one to talk about, Brady. We just don't really know we don't know the players very much. But the teams, you have so much fun with the teams that you want to get into it. You want to follow it. You want to be excited about it, and we will be. Even if it's you don't know a lot of the players, we're going to watch every second of it if they make the College World Series or if they make the NCAA tournament, aren't we? Like, we're going to watch all of it. We're going to be
no doubt.
We're going to be all in, baby.
My first year as the beat guy for K-State baseball for the Mercury was the first year that they made the tournament in like forever. I don't remember the exact stats, but it was just so amazing. K-State at the time had A.J. Morris, who was the Big 12 pitcher of the year that season, drafted same year and same team as Strasburg to the Nationals. And it was so fun to watch that team. I remember Rob Vaughn, he was the catcher. So many names are starting to come back to me from that time, but it was so awesome because just the town just fell in love. And when you're hosting tournaments and super region or regionals and those sort of things, boy, those are fun atmospheres, especially the weather's nice. You know how it is. Like, my love of baseball is really at the ballpark. I can watch on TV from time to time, especially when we get to postseason play and stuff like that, but there's nothing like awesome days, late spring, early summer. You're at the ballpark watching some baseball, your team's winning. That's a good time. And that was a good time in Manhattan when they were able to host, and it'll be a good time in Lawrence.
Yeah, it will be. There's no doubt. One more topic I want to pick your brain on before the end of the week. You and I haven't talked about this. We've got the NBA draft coming up. We've got another mock out today from CBS Sports. This one, Adam Finkelstein, or Steen, not sure. But he's got Debonsa 1 to Washington, Peterson 2 to the Jazz. We know the Jazz want to get AJ Debonsa. How do you think this plays out? If you're in the chair and you're Washington, what do you do with this? Because I still think there is a world where Peterson's the better player. Obviously, everything that happened to him. But if you're Washington, how do you not dangle that carrot to the Jazz, who we know want Debonsa bad, right? So how do you not do that? You'd have to be so in love with Debonsa, wouldn't you, to not at least entertain the idea Again, I'm not convinced DeBonce is the better player than Peterson. He certainly had the better brief college career. But you're sitting there with a team right underneath you. Don't you think you could just hold them over the coals? Say, guys, come get him. And be totally satisfied and happy to get Peterson at 2?
I would think so.
What if the Jazz did all that and then took Peterson at 1 anyway? Just to like mess with them.
That'd be dirty.
This is, the lottery was, it is what it is. These are not two sexy NBA franchises necessarily, but this is going to be pretty high drama here coming down the home stretch. Don't you think? Like Washington's in more of a power position. I know TJ says sometimes, wouldn't you rather be number 2 so you don't have to make the call? And I'm like, well, no, absolutely not. Like you want to have the decision-making power. But I think Washington's best path is if you know the Jazz are going to take DeBonce, you got to trade him that pick. Don't you? Because
I think so.
And now that's it. Obviously, you have to love Peterson to do that. Like you have to love Peterson to do that. If you
no
love
doubt.
DeBonce, you just take DeBonce. But I do think Peterson's going to remind everybody why we weren't having any conversations about who the number 1 pick was going to be before he had this injury thing. I feel like Washington is in a real position of power here. And to see how this plays out will be fascinating. You know, Utah wants DeBonce so bad. Like you can feel it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a BYU guy. He's right there in their backyard. Of course, the fans want him.
And this doesn't get talked enough about. It's not just that he's a BYU guy and he has those obvious connections. The general thought is he likes it there. And franchises like Utah and the NBA have a really hard time keeping star players. So if you have one, even if Peterson, let's say this plays out, Peterson goes to Washington, you've traded up to take DeBonce, and Peterson ends up being the better player. Okay, let's just say that scenario exists. But I also told you DeBonce never plays anywhere else but Utah. Would you be willing to accept that? Because what are the chances Peterson plays his entire career in Utah?
Exactly, especially if he blows up, right?
Like there's that value to Utah also that doesn't exist for any other team.
Sure.
It's interesting. I can't wait to see it. We'll come back. We got a little more Sports Daily. Don't go away.